We're going to get started in about 1 minute.
Good evening. The January 24th, 2022 meeting of the Agenda Charter Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnhart.
Here.
Ms. Barnhart is present. Mr. Brew.
Here.
Mr. Brew is present. Mr. Delahanty.
Here.
Mr. Delahanty is present. Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Long is present. And Chairman Turp.
Here.
Chairman Turp is present.
We need to suspend the rules of the legislature for the purpose of prohibiting public in-person attendance. You have a non-debatable motion on your agenda, which needs a maker and a second.
So moved, Brew. Second, Delahanty.
Moved by legislator Brew, seconded by legislator Delahanty and Barnhart. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
There is not. The next item in the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the October 25th, 2021 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified by any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 22-0042, enact a local law amending the Monroe County Charter to establish an independent redistricting commission.
We need a maker and a seconder if we're going to proceed with this.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Barnhart and seconded by legislator Long. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Legislator Brew.
Legislator Brew, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to explain my vote on this referral. This is not the first time that I'll be voting against this proposal, which appeared before this body last year. The same concerns that existed then continue to exist now. As we've seen in Albany and elsewhere, the idea of a truly independent redistricting commission is a myth. The legislators' bipartisan redistricting process has been consistently successful for the last 6 decades. The Legislative Redistricting Commission continues to be the best path forward. It ensures bipartisanship, keeps direct accountability with voters, and transparency. Make no mistake, this is a radical attempt by the county executive to drastically change one of the most vital parts of the county charter and threatens the trust that the residents of Monroe County have placed in their elected leaders. This can only be maintained while the process remains in the hands of the representatives that the residents have elected themselves, and they themselves can't hold us accountable. The moment that we hand over this serious responsibility to a group of unelected individuals, the voices of our constituents will have been removed from the process entirely. Accountability would have been lost and transparency will have been ignored. I will be voting no for the sake of good government, proper representation, transparency, and accountability, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Legislator Barnhart.
Legislator Barnhart.
Thank you. Through the chair to, I guess, the majority leader. I think I heard you say that you want to proceed with the redistricting commission as outlined in the charter. Do we have to reconstitute that commission? Do you have a timeline or way that we're going to proceed on that?
Legislator Barnhart, seeing as how Legislator Brew is not the maker of the motion, I think it'd probably be best to, if you have any questions, make it to the administration.
Well, I think I really disagree with that because how we vote on this is a vote on this process. And I think having full information on how we're going to proceed is really important. And I really appreciate the majority leader's explanation for his vote. But I think we need a little bit more information about what is going to happen. So I respectfully would like you to reconsider.
Your request is heard. And again, seeing as how he was just explaining his vote, and he's not the maker of the motion, I would say, if you have any questions.
Okay.
About that, so.
Okay, then through you to the administration, does the charter require us to proceed with the redistricting commission?
Through the chair, this is John Bringerwatt. I think under the existing charter, the best process is to reconstitute the redistricting commission. There is some ambiguity, I think, under the charter as to what happens now, which I would be happy to provide attorney-client privileged briefing to the legislature at your convenience.
Through the chair to the administration, is there a timeline by which we need to get the commission going again and produce a map and pass it?
Through the chair, again, although the charter sets forth very clear timelines for the initiation of this process, it's not as clear now. I think under any reading of the charter, there is certainly adequate time right now, a matter of at least 5 months or so. Again, I'd be happy to sort of spell out provide a confidential briefing to spell out the various potential paths forward.
Okay, I would just like to explain my vote. I do support an independent commission for reasons I've outlined before. Bipartisan inclusive commissions do produce, and independent commissions do produce good maps. There have been some issues, as noted in New York State and frankly around the country, but on the whole, their maps do tend to be more fair, more competitive, and less advantageous to one party over another. But if the independent proposal does not move forward, I strongly urge the majority to put forth a process and a timeline so that we can get to work. I certainly do hope that we can all work together on this. I do have a lot more questions that I'm hoping can be answered in the coming days. So thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Barnhart. Any other discussion? Seeing none, let's move to a roll call vote.
Ms. Barnhart.
Yes.
Ms. Barnhart votes yes. Mr. Brew.
No.
Mr. Brew votes no. Mr. Delahanty.
No.
Mr. Delahanty votes no. Mr. Long.
Yes.
Long votes yes, and Chairman Turp.
No.
Chairman Turp votes no. 2-3, referral fails.
Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There are not. Seeing as how there are no other matters, the January 24th, 2022 meeting of the Agenda Charter Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Agenda Charter Committee will be held Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2022 at 5:00 p.m. Thank you.